It's been a week of silly season news. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Bowyer announced his retirement. Bowman announces going to the 48 from the 88. DiBenedetto finally gets that contract renewal back in the 21 for next season. Suarez is now running for the new team of Trackhouse, Justin Marks teams. What do you guys got to think about that, Brett?
I'm spot on for the Justin Marks move. I have been worried for the last several years about the age of our ownership group because let's face it, man, you know, Roger Penske, Jack Roush, Rick Hendrick, those guys are older guys and are huge parts of the sport. Joe Gibbs. And when you look at those guys, it's like, man, what do we do, you know, after them? And who is going to come in and be leaders, right? And when you look at a team like Michael Waltrip Racing, really young ownership. You know, Michael was in his 50s, unfortunately, when that place shut down. And that's a problem for our sport. So to see two new teams coming in here that have got some young ownership, man, I'm excited about it. I mean, and then you look at the Xfinity Series with Matt Collick, another young guy that's building a big Xfinity Series program that you have to wonder, are they going to want to go cup racing soon? And you have to hope the answer is yes, because, you know, this new Gen 7 car, everybody seems to be really getting geared up to go racing with that car. I knew that Justin Marks was making this move, talked to Ty Norris a few months ago about it. They got a really interesting concept with how they're doing this thing. But anytime we have ownership that is coming into race, you're going to hear me be excited about it. I mean, we were talking last night, and I'll even ask this question to TJ. Spire Motorsports owns 3 charters. How many race cars do they own, TJ?
I don't know if they own any.
None.
Yeah, I don't think they own any.
So when we look at a guy like Justin Marks coming in here, obviously he's leasing a charter from Spire. But he's actually going to go out and race. He's going to be competitive. He's going to have a gigantic alliance with RCR.
Because he's on RCR's campus, right? He's probably going to take over the Germain area.
He's going to be on the campus for sure. I don't think he's going to take over that building, but he's going to be on campus. I know who's taking over that building. That's why I can't tell you. But he's going to do something big here. Justin Marks is a smart guy. He's a racer. He's got a very successful business background. He's a guy that can go out and attract sponsorship, and I truly think him and Ty are building something great. And it reminds me a lot of the Wood Brothers model, the way they're going to do these things.
I think the new car, the model setting up a path for new teams to kind of form and be competitive fairly early. Obviously it's really hard to start a team and be competitive right out of the box, but I think the new model is allowing it to be more achievable, and these guys wouldn't be doing it if they didn't think they could be successful. You're not going to start a team. Oh man, I just want to run 30th every week. These guys are starting these teams because they want to be, they want to be the next Roger Penske, Joe Gibbs, Mr. H. They want to be them guys. So I think it's great for the sport. I think it's another good thing, and excited for Justin and Ty. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, like Brett said, I think this is going to be very similar to the Wood Brothers Penske alliance, where this is going to be like a satellite RCR team, and I think it's great because that'll be good stuff that Daniel can get in, and Justin's team will take off pretty well. Some of the other things, Bowyer retiring, that sucks. Obviously, Clint's, you ain't going to find anybody more fun than Clint Bowyer.
But I'm so excited for him to go to the booth. I'm so glad he's just not walking away.
Well, here's the booth question, right? Here's the $1 million booth question. We all know Clint Bowyer.
Who's he paired with?
Mike and Jeff, I think.
Yeah, he is for sure. But we all know Clint Bowyer. We all know how big his personality is. I know how opinionated he is. A lot of those TV guys get in the booth and start drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they get a little neutral.
Is he going to be a Kool-Aid guy, or is he going to bring?
I hope not. I hope they let him have loose reins.
As a commentator?
No, but you'll get a phone call.
But anyway,
so couple phone calls.
That sucks for Clint. But it's great. I mean, it's great for the fans. The fans are going to win here because he's going to be on TV, and as long as I can't imagine him ever changing, so I'm sure there'll be no cookie cutter there. That kind of obviously opens a door for Briscoe. I think that's pretty much a foregone conclusion there. The one that kind of jumped out to me this week was the DiBenedetto, which people jumped on me last week because I guess I was too hard on Matt saying he had an average year, and yeah, I mean, hey, it happens.
It's a phenomenal year,
Freddie. The thing that jumped out at me about this was you announced Matt DiBenedetto's driving the 21 car next year, And at the same time, you announce Austin Cindric's driving the 21 car the year after. Like, so
That's
now,
so weird.
Now the guys, okay, congratulations, you got a job, but you're now racing for your life again. I don't know what to tell you about the year after that. So I didn't really understand that move on their side of it. I mean, Roger Penske is a hell of a lot smarter than I am, so I'm sure there's a reason.
Are you sure?
But yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, just based off success.
It's not really that rich.
I just didn't understand. I mean, I don't know why you would do that.
You know, obviously, race fans are not going to lose. It sucks Clint's, not going to be on the track, but the next best thing is happening, and that's Clint on TV. Clint is really good, like Brett said. He's the life of the party, man. He's going to be animated. He's fresh out of the car. He's going to have a very fresh perspective of what these guys are going through. And Clint's probably going to not hold back, and he's probably going to say some things that he probably shouldn't, and that's going to make it great.
I agree with that. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the guy. I want to see the Clint Bowyer that I know and love on television. I don't
Dale
want
Jr., those big-ass spoilers.
I want to see him bring it, man. Obviously, 21 car, we talked about it last week. There were two decision makers involved, and they're both billionaires. And they made the decision to bring Matt back. I personally think it was the right decision for Austin Cindric. And next year, how many races can Austin Cindric win with no Chase Briscoe in the 98 car? Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot.
I think this is a great move for Austin. Has a chance to win the championship this year, and next year his momentum, his confidence is so high. He's going to be. You can't enter the Cup Series in a better path than what he's got laid out for him right now. He's going to go run for a championship next year, possibly 2 back-to-backs. He's just going to be that's a perfect path. He's got things laid out for him. So, and these guys, I get what Freddie's saying. Like, okay, Matt, it kind of sucks. You got one more year, but Matt now has a chance. Honestly, I think Matt can have a really successful year next year. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what doors are going to open if Matt goes and wins 2-3 races and runs, top 10.
That's the team I would shake up, though, from a personnel perspective, because to me, that's the team that they got to – I mean, for Matt's sake and for the team's sake, like, build it and make it something really super special because you know the future of it now.
Here's where I'm – so now, okay, so obviously the 2 cars are going to be open again next year. Brad signed a 1-year deal. So a lot of people were connecting the dots there. Well, maybe Matt moves over. But – what I was trying to get at last week, and I'll back it up again this week, if Matt has another season next year like he had this year, there's no seat for him at Penske Racing. No. Like there's not. You have to go out there and win races in that equipment. You can't just get by with, I made the playoffs, I was out in the first round, and okay,
some guys do better with that pressure though.
Yeah, and like I said, Matt is an unbelievable guy. The kid loves racing. I mean, eats, sleeps racing. I think he's a hell of a race car driver, but he's got to step it up next year and perform, or he's going to be left without a seat.
Bowman to the 48. We said on this show months ago there was a top secret meeting at Hendrick.
Finally came out.
And this is when all this right here started happening. It's not done yet.
What do you mean?
So obviously,
now we got to have a driver for the 88. Who's that going to be? Who's that going to be?
Do you think? Let me ask you this: you're on the marketing side of it.
TJ.
Do you think this was an ally play that they didn't want to sponsor the other guy that we all know is getting in the car?
I think Bowman. I mean, man, look at Alex Bowman. Like, he came in and took the place of the most popular driver potentially to ever live. And now he's taking the place of potentially the best driver to ever drive. And I think his image and his performance have gotten him that opportunity. And I think Ally, being a fully funded, deal, and with Rick's business background, like, I think it just made the most sense for the business side of what they're trying to do. And I think if you're Ally on the marketing side, I don't want an unknown. And I've got something in-house with Alex Bowman that is a known entity, probably have been around these people a lot. And obviously Rick speaks high of him. Like, I think it just made the most sense.
And you think that it's just a 48 still because it's iconic? Because I would have thought, we had heard pretty much a couple weeks ago that Ally was going with Bowman, and I was wondering if it was just going to be the Ally 88 car, and then they were going to change the number for the other car for that dirt guy. But I'm assuming just on Ally, just brand recognition, you want that 48 number.
I think
it's
so.
Probably iconic. I'll tell you another guy that I think's turned it up here and probably driven his way back into a seat where I thought 2 months ago there was no chance of this is probably Ryan Preece. I mean, he's had some really good runs the last month, three month. Good run at Daytona, really good run yesterday, leading laps at a road course. Short tracks, I think he had a top 10 a couple weeks ago. So, that was a guy that I thought might be on his way out and maybe not have any options to where now I don't know if it's an option to stay in a 37 or get another ride, but I think he's going to find some. That 37 deal is going to be a little sketchy. We heard they probably lost their charter to one of them Spire deals, so I'm sure they can lease another charter. Rick Ware's got 35 of them if they need one. But, but I thought Ryan's really stepped, like we talk about guys, if you want to get a seat, you got to perform, and Ryan's really stepped it up the last month.
Has Eric Jones landed anywhere yet?
No.
Not yet. Eric Jones.
A lot of talk about him being Bubba's replacement. Some talk
23.
about him being in the 37. I think Eric's challenge is he doesn't have a sponsor with him. And when you get put out on the street and you don't have a sponsor that's loyal to you.
Because Toyota's pushed him up.
Yes.
And
I mean,
they're going to stay.
It's hard to be able to open doors when you don't have money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. If you go to offerpad.com right now, fill out the form, all your dreams will come true. Offerpad.com. Move freely.